He said, I was expecting to be feel different how it was, and I think he might have felt that he was going to feel a lot sadder than he did. But it's almost like a celebration at the end, because he's one of those managers, he's one of the Liverpool managers where, of course, he's won what he's won and chased down City and that. But when you think of him, when I think of him and what he's done, what he's brought, I don't think of the trophies first. I think of him and how he's been, in his passion for it, his drive, his will to win and everything. And then afterwards, you look at what he's done and you think, he was the perfect Liverpool manager.
Where would you play? I did a thing yesterday where would you place him in the sort of top managers in the Premier League? I put him 5th, and he's obviously a great manager. I put him 5th after. I put Sir Alex, Pep Guardiola, Jose, Arsene Wenger, and Klopp in that order. So I placed them as those 5. Now that to me, there was no one else near them, but I thought them 5 for me were in Premier League. I'm talking about. I wasn't going before.
That's interesting.
I put those 5 in that order.
I want to do that order now. I would put him above Wenger. The only reason being is Champions League.
Yeah.
To get to Arsenal, he didn't quite crack that, did they, Arsenal? But he got to 3 finals. He obviously won it once, and I just think coming up against City, points totals as well. I'd put Pep top of Premier League. I think I've said this before. I think Sir Alex Ferguson, what he did at Aberdeen, maybe puts him above Pep. That's a debate in itself. But in terms of the Premier League, Guardiola just
he's gone, isn't
he? Yeah, and what's he won? 6 and 7.
6 and 7.
And he's only been here 8 years. So obviously Ferguson had only probably won his first one now, hadn't he? If he'd been here after 7 years. So I go Pep, Ferguson. I go Jose because he come back and won the league with that second Chelsea team.
Probably go Klopp.
I'd put Klopp next.
I think that you have to probably mention obviously being with Wenger because he means a lot to me. But I feel that 2006 side, if they win that Champions League that year, probably I don't care anyone says that's probably going to be the best footballing team for me Arsenal ever produced and one of the best in the world.
What's your order?
But they had different challenges. Wenger almost. Remember the players he was selling to build a stadium? Does that not come into the mix?
It should do.
Yeah.
It should
Money,
do
the budget, the circumstances managers are under.
Exactly as well, Roy. When you read the book and you read about Wenger, when David Dein was leaving Arsenal, he offered to leave as well. And they would not have done the deal for the stadium without the collateral of having Wenger sign it to keep them in the Champions League to pay for it. He stayed against his will. He stayed against his will. And so there's a lot to be said. And the teams that he qualified for the Champions League with in that time...
He was criticised for that as well, wasn't he? Remember almost celebrating top 4.
He has to get some credit for that.
Look where longevity, the 3 titles, the sort of importance of him, I think, I felt, it was close, but I just had him slightly above.
There was a thing, we obviously, working on the TV, you get like a stat pack, don't you, before the game. And something before Sunday's, Klopp's last game, the Sunday, I didn't realise there's only... In the Premier League era, I'm probably even going further back, probably to the early 80s, there's only Ferguson, Pep and Klopp who've won the league and the European Cup of the same team.
Wow.
So Jose didn't win the Champions League, did he, at Chelsea? Obviously, no. Wenger didn't. That's what,
So what order was yours being?
I'll probably, again...
I'm not a lover of all this order stuff.
You don't
like we'll come to you in a minute.
It feels like...
We'll cut you out.
Come on, no, Jesus, who's the best player, who's this? Yeah. It's just...
I hear you.
Some managers are brilliant managers for that club.
It's a nice conversation. It's a nice conversation.
No, it is fine.
Yeah, but then,
and I'll happily
But then you want
chat
a bit
about
where,
it.
where you have to... I probably... I'm not even going with, what era, whether it's Premier League or League. I'm going to put Sir Alex at the top.
What would it take then for, say, Pep? What would Pep need to do, or anybody else to go above Sir Alex Ferguson? Because no one's going to be there as long as he was there.
I think the longevity and 13 Premier League titles. I agree. What Pep's done in it's not even a short period of time. It's actually getting into a long period of time now. You can't deny if someone put Pep top, I wouldn't say you're out of order. I would say Sir Alex, but if someone said Pep Guardiola's top, I wouldn't say you're wrong.
Yeah.
So if Pep stays another 2 years and wins 2 leagues,
But what I'm saying to you, you could say it is now, but I'm likely to go with Sir Alex anyway, aren't I? Just generally, being honest with you. And I think, look, I certainly don't want to mention the 115 charges. But until that's
Exactly,
until that's cleared.
But you did mention it.
I know, but until that's cleared, I think we do have to just have a little bit of a but.
Yes.
A little bit of a but until that's cleared. And if that's cleared, and as City say they will do, they'll defend those charges and win. Then I think then.
No, I disagree with that.
I disagree with it.
I think the 115 chances is against the club. Pep Guardiola, as a manager, the job he's done.
You're measuring him being the best based on his success. His success will have been built on foundations that were rule breaking if they were found guilty.
Before
of them.
he was there.
No, but what I'm saying.
Yeah, but that's the foundation, James.
That's the foundation.
I get that. But what I'm saying is, in terms of money spent. Man United always spent the most. I mean, Roy broke the transfer record. Jaap Stam did. Whoever else.
To be fair, Carrot, it sounds daft. This. If you said to me who is the biggest influence on football in this generation, I'd probably say Pep Guardiola. Do you know what I mean? In terms of just generally across Europe, Bayern Munich, obviously in Barcelona, and he produced the greatest team of all time. So if someone said Pep Guardiola's the greatest manager of all time above Sir Alex Ferguson, I would never argue with them because I think you couldn't even deny it. I mean, I think he's amazing. I think what he's done is unbelievable. But at City in the Premier League...
No, but I don't think I'm not shy in saying that because I wanted my team to win the league. You're there now, but it feels like Arsenal fans are getting more involved in this 115 charges because that maybe cost us. But in terms of Pep, he still spent the same as Man United in like the 7 years he's been there, or Chelsea. The charges come for, and I totally agree with that. But I don't think it affects Pep so much in terms of judging him as a manager.
But the charges do relate to the first 2 years when he was here.
I know, but what I'm saying is, in terms of him, so you're judging him against.
Look, I'm not judging him.
Sir Alex Ferguson spent more money than anyone else.
I get it's not on Pep and the players, but the foundations of Manchester City, if they were to be found guilty of a significant amount of those charges, will have been built on a rule-breaking foundation.
Yes.
That can never be denied. So if they're not found guilty of those charges, which City are adamant that they're not found guilty, and I'm not a fan of FFP, by the way. So my view is that in the first place, they should be allowed to spend the money. That's my real view. But every other team was obviously abiding by the rules, and maybe or maybe not, we don't know whether they were or not. So
like I said, I've said it before, the biggest shame is that at the moment this team, it's got an asterisk. It's like, and that's unfair when you look. I've been watching that treble again. It's fascinating. It's unbelievable because I love all that, going in the dressing room and seeing the lads, elite lads who are, when it comes to the game, they're ready to go. I don't think you can point a finger at the guys because they're doing their stuff. You cannot do that. But like in respects of them as a team, they are, for me, they're the best that's been in the Premier League. He's the best manager simply from the Premier League simply because he's done it 4 times.
He's number one.
No, I'm going to go in the Premier League.
Okay.
I'm not going to go. I'm going to go at Sir Alex.
Okay, so that's number 1. Pep's number 2.
Yeah.
And then number 3.
Wenger.
Number 4.
Who else?
Jose and Klopp.
Klopp. I'm going. Then Jose.
Roy, I know you like doing this, so you have to give us a top 5. Or give us a very good reason
No,
why.
I don't like doing it just because it's like when you compare players, your favourite 11, I just think it's...
Well, who do you think is the best?
You're going to try and force it out of me.
Simply because you must have a list. You know in your head.
I don't have a list in my head.
Well, you must. Yeah, but in your mind now, you're thinking, well, he's the best. Then I'll probably go with him. That's what's happening in your head now. I can see it.
Number 1, I do like Pep. I don't know if I don't pick Ferguson, people think it's personal.
Don't worry.
Is it personal?
He doesn't watch this.
Is it personal?
Everything's personal.
Okay, cool. Right. Well,
Everything's
go for Pep
personal,
then. Even if you picked him, people would say he's only picked him because he doesn't want people to think.
No, but I respect the manager.
So he's not biased.
No, but I look at circumstances. Wenger at the time, he didn't win this, but what he done for the club, built a new stadium, the recruitment side of it, style of football. Saying as if United weren't doing that stuff, you know what I mean? United were doing good stuff, sports science and all that. Klopp, with the circumstances, the way he lifted the club. Mourinho.
Mourinho's got to get love as well.
Yeah, of course.
Oh, he is. He's in the top. Yeah, he's
in the top 5.
My third. Is he my third? He was my third. Jose.
Jose was. No, Klopp was my third.
How long have we got? Can we take it?
No, we can.
Yeah.
We'll let it.
Come back to it if you want.
Come back to me in a second.
You shouldn't be taking this long. What's wrong with you?
Because
Give us 5. Just give us them. Give us your top one then. Who's your top one?
Is it Pep or Ferguson? That's all we need to know.
Yeah, toss of a coin, isn't it?
Just to get you a coin.
Yeah. He's got 2 heads on it.
You wouldn't be taking.
I'll go with Pep. I'll go with Pep.
You going with Pep?
Yeah, I'm with Pep. Yeah. Second.
I'm very surprised. I'm very surprised at that.
Why? Why are you surprised at that?
I'm just thinking that in the times of you and Fergie at Man United, when it was going so great, when you lot were so dominant, there must have been times where.
It was amazing. Yeah, absolutely amazing.
Yeah. So the boss number 2.
Yeah, put him in there.
The boss.
Why do you call him the boss?
You've asked me this about 40
know.
times in the last
I know,
12
why do you-
months.
isn't he was your manager at a football club. His contract was with the club, and your contract was with the club. Why do you call someone boss? I'm serious. Do you call anyone else boss besides your wife?
I
Do you call anybody else boss?
I told you this. I still call the school teacher that I was brought through as Mr.
Yeah,
Right.
mister, that's fine. But you're not calling him boss.
You've been used to calling someone that for like 25
Yeah, because that was your
years.
circumstances. That was the
he
club
was
you
your
were in.
boss.
We have
then.
had this debate before, the conversation before,
Yeah.
haven't we? We have.
I don't get it. Not just you, everyone. Boss, I don't get it.
Would you feel strange calling him Alex if you saw him?
I would never call him Alex.
Would you call him Sir Alex?
That's his name.
I would never call him Sir Alex.
But that's his name.
I would call him Sir Alex publicly. I would never call him Alex. No, I wouldn't.
Yeah.
For 25 years, I called him boss, and then you just make it's that long.
Yeah,
call
because
you- I wouldn't call
because
none
he's
of
your
them.
boss.
I don't call
He's not
any of
your-
the guys-
He's
any
not
of
your
them.
boss now, is he?
No, but
He's another human being. That's it.
Yeah.
Why are you calling him boss?
No, I even call Glenn Hoddle gaffer. I call Steve Coppell.
Yeah,
boss.
I don't think it's a. Yeah.
Arsene
So you
Wenger
call
boss.
every
one
gaffer
of
you've
them.
ever had gaffer?
Yeah, still call him boss. Still call him boss.
We're getting sidetracked here.
No, man.
Yeah, I'll go with
Even though with again, now I'm thinking again like.
Who's his number 3?
I should have
Yeah,
had Klopp
he
as my
should
number
have,
3.
yeah.
I'm
going to change.
Oh my God, the
Yeah,
ball in it.
I wanna-
Jeez,
yeah.
it wasn't even part of the.
Bottle
it wasn't
Have
even.
you put Ferguson top of that ahead of
as well,
Pep in the
Ferguson-
Premier
It
League?
wasn't even part of the running order.
No, but like Arsene Wenger, the first foreign manager to win the Premier League as well. He's done
Yeah,
it
and he got
3
eaten
times.
lumps of sugar. Hey, he was ahead of his time.
That man done a lot for me, and I have to put him up
You're
there.
arguing against yourself now.
No, I'm arguing with Roy, but Roy don't know it. That man done a lot for
And
me.
what you do for
I owed
him? What did you do for him?
I helped him.
Exactly,
I
yeah.
helped him win stuff.
Exactly.
I
It
scored
goes
2.
hand in hand. What does everyone think? Oh, you saved me. You scored loads of goals for him. How many goals did you get?
In the end,
Yeah, you were telling me in the green room a while ago how many you got.
113 and 230.
Yeah.
I'm not counting. That.
Yeah, yeah. A lot of goals in your, when you were over 30 years of age.
Yeah, I scored a lot.
You didn't go to Arsenal until you were 28. So it's give and take. You know, these clubs sign you, and then at the end when you're finished and they kick you out the door without a thank you, that's the way. That's the game.
Wow. Are you talking about me or you there?
I
Because
don't know who I'm talking about. I'm just talking in general.
Right. Who's
You can't sign for him in the club.
Roy, who's your third? You're not changing.
Okay.
You're not changing. Who's your third?
I've just changed.
I've just changed.
You're not changing.
I'm putting
Change is
Klopp there.
good. Change is good.
No,
That's what
I've
Klopp
put
said the other
Jose
day.
ahead of
Right.
Klopp. No, I've got to change because I said Wenger never did it in the Champions League, and Jose
But he won
didn't
three.
really-
He won 3.
I know, but I'm going to go Klopp third.
See, I've got to
Above
go
Jose
Yeah.
and
Well, can I
above
ask you something,
Wenger.
lads? His
Yeah.
personality's coming to it. Like
Yeah.
Klopp's personality.
Yeah.
Has to.
Well, what about? Yeah, but if
not
you're
saying
talking about personality, then Jose.
Jose had the greatest.
Jose, yeah,
Jose had
that's
the
what I'm
greatest
putting.
personality. Back in the day, oh, he did.
If it was on
when he first
personality,
came,
yeah, he was
that
awesome.
first 5-6 years, he gripped the whole league. By the way, he did. He did.
And he was-
I mean,
he
he
did,
literally
yeah,
gripped the whole league. He came in at that time and made an impact on the league that was like
He made an
unbelievable.
impact on Ferguson that I'd never seen before.
Seriously,
Ferguson used to always go like head to head with people,
Yeah.
didn't he?
No,
he did it with him. He kind of like, yeah.
because they were too good for them at that time.
Chelsea
When he
were
come on,
amazing.
they were we're good mates. We have a
Chelsea
bottle of
were
rum.
amazing.
Did you play in that first game, Chelsea won
Yeah,
them?
yeah. You centre back that day, weren't you? I was right. Yeah,
That Chelsea team?
it's tough, wasn't it?
And he spent a lot of money. Listen, Jesus
Yeah.
Christ, lads.
Yeah, that's why Klopp goes ahead of him.
Klopp goes ahead because Jose spent a
Do you
lot.
still look at Klopp as a guy who didn't spend really much money in terms of would the stats be? Is he like
spent a lot of
hundreds and
money.
hundreds of millions behind
Spent
her?
a lot of money.
Yeah, but it depends what you look at in terms of what they spend or you do net spend. But I
right.
mean, I always think when you talk about net spend, it's like that's the club do. When people talk about Liverpool being really good with the transfers, now what Liverpool were unbelievable at was selling from like really big fees. You know, like not everyone talks about Coutinho. What was it? Something like a bizarre figure. But they'd be getting like 20, 25 million for players who'd only like played like a few.
Yeah. That's what
Like
City do now.
Solanke went
Yeah,
to Bournemouth.
I was going to mention.
He played about
Yeah.
10 games, 15, 20 games. So Liverpool got like 25 million. So they were brilliant at that. So that's nothing to do with Klopp as such in terms of like he did that. That's the club.
Who was the player
But
that sold as well from Liverpool to Bournemouth for like 15 million?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. A left back, I think his name was Brad Smith.
Ibe.
He played.
Ibe, Jordan Ibe
No,
as
he
well.
went for more. There was a left back called Brad Smith who went for about 15 million.
But they were selling people like Solanke and Jordan and Ibe for that big money.
Yeah.
Great moves.
Yeah.
Roy, who's your third manager?
I'll go with Mourinho, Klopp, and Wenger.
Thank
You
you.
going Wenger last?
Yeah, he's not last, he's fifth. last
Out of 5 people.
Yeah.
But
That's
there are five amazing
He's in the top
managers that I have
5.
huge respect for. But we've had a silly conversation. Who's your favourite child? You know what I mean?
Don't go into that. Jesus. Someone try to get me going.
Let's do that then.
Don't do the favourite child.
You got a favourite child?
Everybody's got a
Did you sit on
favourite
the
child.
fence?
Nobody says who's a favourite child.